Here we are at the main entrance of the Springs Preserve Complex, which includes the Nevada State Museum, Las Vegas, and the Springs Preserve Museum. This is the main entrance here. Of course, there are rules and regulations. So all bags, backpacks subject to inspection, shirts and shoes required, pets prohibited, no firearms, oh my goodness. And let's see, can't smoke marijuana. And you may be photographed or filmed while on the property, so don't be doing anything bad. So you come in here, and for those of you who need elevator, there's one over there. Otherwise, you can just walk through here. This is the ramp for the physically challenged. And this is the sign for the Springs Cafe, which is a place where you can get something to eat. And this is the way to the entrance. And this is the ticketing area here, where you can buy your tickets and then get into the area. Then you have to sign in. Good morning.
How are you? That is perfect. Enjoy your time.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
And what I did there was to show her the stamp from yesterday. And
Yes, so we're going to start.
that passed. I have my season ticket, so there's no problem.
And go up like that. So it's just a little.
Yo, what did you go on?
So today, my aim is to get to the Cottonwood Grove to see that Pahrump poolfish. This is the gift shop area in here.
There was one area left.
These are the people that help to sponsor the Springs Preserve.
Yeah. Did we make a right? No. We were always on the path and we just turned in. We came back out.
So today it's not as hot as it was yesterday, and it's a little bit overcast, so that helps as well. So going back through here, oh, look at the cacti. Good morning.
Do you know where you're headed?
Cottonwood Grove.
Is that way?
It's this way.
Where are you going?
Pahrump poolfish.
I don't know where those are.
Oh, okay, but it's not.
But-
That's not what I was. Let's see if it's on here. No, they don't show that area.
I would say go ask the train station.
Oh,
Have you been
I
in
know where. Yeah.
Oh, you've
I
been
know
in
where-
before.
yeah.
Okay.
No,
By all means, go
yeah,
ahead.
Yeah, it's where they have some of the what do you call them? Not extinct, but protected fish.
Okay.
It's called the Pahrump poolfish. They have a bunch up at Lake Harriet at Spring Mountain Ranch.
Oh, okay.
They have them here. They have them somewhere up north, and one other place.
So
which
it's
I forget.
out this direction.
The one thing about yesterday is by coming over here and toughing it out, I got to my first 10,000 steps with my what is it, Garmin Vivo Active 5 watch, which I haven't been able to do before. And this is where you pick up the train. Oh, here's trains coming actually. That'll take you over to Boomtown and also around the park a bit. And again through here like yesterday, past the state historical sign. And this time, since I have the time, I'm going to check out the mound and see what that's all about, because I was sort of worn out. This way will take you to the Boomtown as well, and the waterworks. Whoops, sun is out now. So let's see what this mound thing is. Of course, by being up here on the mound, you get an interesting view of the strip here, as you can see all the main places. Let's see what this is all about. How our spring works. Springs are places where groundwater meets the land surface. They are generally found along geologic faults where a change in rock formations disrupts the way water flows underground. The Las Vegas Springs first appeared 10 to 12,000 years ago, leaking out as artesian springs along two faults that cut north to south through the Las Vegas Valley. When the Las Vegans in the 20th century, which would be the 1900s, drilled wells to augment the natural spring discharge, they lowered the groundwater levels and the springs soon dried up and disappeared. So that's sort of cool. I'm sure all of you who have visited Las Vegas and haven't left the Strip are amazed that you could have something like this in the wide open spaces to see as well. So this is the mound. Let's see what the mound is about though. This is another interpretive sign. On the left, that's the way the springs used to be. You had those three major springs that fed down the creek, which went right down through downtown Las Vegas. And of course the big spring, where they have that classic picture of some of the pioneers passing through who would jump into the big spring and take a bath. And the amazing thing is that the artesian pressure was so much that they said it was impossible to drown in there because your body would be buoyed up continuously. Let's see, spring mounds there, so let's find out about that. You're standing about 20 feet above the valley floor on a spring mound. It was built up gradually as wind-blown silt accumulated on the dampened ground surrounding a low-flowing spring. When the mound like this grows so high that the pressure of the water no longer reaches the top, the spring naturally runs dry. This spring ran dry in the 1950s because of the use of the underground water. Interesting. This is where we were yesterday when we had difficulty finding the cottonwood grove. We went down this way and finally decided after about a quarter of a mile that wasn't the way to go. But that little hut up there, or that structure, is the south end of the cienega. And we walked all of this part yesterday, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time reviewing this. Just like yesterday, we're rounding the bend on the service road, and this is the rest stop for the north end of the cienega. So all of that down there was where the springs, some springs used to be, a wetlands. That's the definition of a cienega. I think the anglicized pronunciation for cienega is cienega, like that street in Los Angeles called La Cienega. But according to my Spanish book, it should be cienega. This is a good view of the cienega, all that up to where that shelter was for the southern end of this particular wetland. Now at this point, if you go over this way, you'll be on part of the trail that takes you where you can see some of the structures that were here back in the pioneering times, as well as the springs, like the big spring, which of course there's nothing there now because the groundwater has receded, but they have remnants of the shelter which is caved in over there. Yeah, the caretaker's house, and then the other things as well. And as you can see in the distance, there's the tip of the construction equipment, and we want to go down there across the underground reservoir, and we should be at the cottonwood. This is a side trip or pathway that's supposed to be leading to the caretaker's house, but also has a restroom. As you can see, bicycles are permitted on the paved areas as well with this bicycle rack. Las Vegas Rancho. That's O.D. Gas, who occupied the ranch after the Mormons left for many years, then went into some financial difficulties and it was bought by the Stewarts. And the Stewarts held on to it until the railroad bought it. This is the caretaker's house. Let's see. Hi.
No, that's right. Literally. His whole family are out there. Not this one, the next one. These are all the well places already.
Oops. Excuse me. There's a good example of a mesquite tree that has those brownish things hanging down off of it, but what that represents is some kind of a fungus that develops and is symbiotic with the mesquite tree. Another rest area, and as you can see now we are approaching the construction area like yesterday. And with our usual summer drought, you don't see much in the way of water in any of these areas over here. Not sure what this bush is. Sharp-shinned hawk. Mesquite. These things, I don't know if they're even native, I guess. But you can see when we get plenty of rain, all that area would be wet and marshy looking. This is the area where I got a little confused yesterday because I thought that the Cottonwood Grove was down this way. And I went that way, didn't see anything, went that way, didn't see anything, and had to give up because of the heat. But this is where I should have gone, across this little reservoir. And according to the map, the grove is right over there. So we'll go ahead and cross this area. And you should be able to hear the traffic from the 95 freeway, or now the Interstate 11. That old building over there used to be a social services building, but it's been taken over by a construction equipment rental company. So we can look back here and see how far we've gone from the museum itself. This is an old building Must be some kind of a pump house, judging from those pipes coming off the building. And there's some type of pumping equipment here that's left over, and they paint it over to keep it from rusting. Now this is the big wall that you see when you're driving down the 95. And on the other side of that wall are those big desert characters that stick out. Who is this fellow? Tiger whiptail lizard. And I would assume that this is the oak grove. Cottonwood. Here are the cottonwood leaves, the heart-shaped leaves that you see typically. These are some old trees here. Look how big the chunks are. And there's some restrooms here. And you can follow this road all the way back to Boomtown. Oh, there are the characters that stick off the wall right there. You can see their heads. And of course, since the poolfish are here, there's always some water being placed in here. So this is it. And of course, you don't go in the water, you don't disturb them because they are an endangered species. And this sign has to be put up there because people at Spring Mountain Ranch would dump turtles, crayfish, and koi fish. And they started eating the endangered species, so they have to put this signage up because people don't follow the rules anyway. And of course, no swimming. My goodness. Let's see if the water works here. It looks sort of bad. Doesn't work good enough. Let's see here. It works there if the water's any good. So there is some water at this spot. So if you need some help, if you get overwhelmed here or you get sick, I would assume if you call that number, then security will come out and help you out. Let's look at the map. So that's where we are, Cottonwood Grove and Ponds, right up there. Oh, you can come here and have a little lunch and rest. This is nice. Who said Las Vegas was only about gambling? So let's go down and see if we can see any Pahrump poolfish today. Well, at this distance, I don't see very much. I don't see any fish swimming today. Let's zoom in and see if we can see some. You might expect that they would be in the shade or just hiding under the green foliage during the heat of the day. At least we had a butterfly to go by. Let's see if there are any fish on this side. Well, kiddies, boys and girls, no poolfish today. But you can see how they artificially created this one, because there's like a dam right beyond that cottonwood tree, and then the gulch is dry after that. So when I get back to the museum, or the preserve, I'll see if they have a count on how many poolfish that they actually have here.